Hi and welcome to the Mirroring Soul. I'm Lila and today I'm going to be sharing with you the very first new moon yoga sequence of 2023. We are currently in the sign of Aquarius, and with that, the areas of the body that are affected specifically are the calves, the Achilles tendons, the ankles, and the shins. And so we're hoping that through this sequence we'll be able to help increase a little bit mobility and release any tension that you may have. For the yoga practice and setup, you're going to want to grab your yoga mat, yoga blocks, a strap, bolster, and a blanket. And if you don't have these items, feel free to get creative and grab what you have. For where you're going to be setting up, you may want to find a clear wall where you can have your legs resting against there for one of the poses. Again, if you don't have this, you can leave your legs suspended during that time in the air and receive equal benefit. For any discomfort that you may experience during the yoga sequence, know that those are signs from your body. So you may want to try a different modification. You may want to gently ease out of it and go back, maybe not as steep, or skip the pose altogether. That's completely fine as well. This is your practice, so please honor your body and choose what is best for you in the moment. And whenever you feel that you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. If you're ready to begin, we're going to find the center of our mat, place our feet hips distance apart. Hands are going to come over the head, reaching towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. Full breath in, and then as we exhale, we're going to bring the feet together, hands together, interlace the fingers, cross the thumbs, extend the index finger towards the ceiling. Full breath in, exhale, and then bend over towards the left. Inhale, exhale, back to center. Full breath in, exhale, over to the right. Inhale and exhale, back to center. Now we're going to release the arms down by our side. Widen our stance. Externally rotate the feet out just a bit. Arms above, overhead, full breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, bring the thumb and index finger together in goddess. And then we'll straighten the legs. Straighten the hands so they're parallel with the floor, palms facing down. Now we're going to bring the feet so that they're parallel together in star. Then we're going to go into triangle pose on the left. We'll point our left toes towards the left and bring the right foot, the toes of the foot, in just a little bit. And if that stance needs to widen, go ahead. We're going to reach the left arm over that leg, and then the arm comes down towards the shin. Meanwhile, the right fingertips reach towards the ceiling. And then we'll bring the arms back parallel to the floor. And then maybe take a step back with that right foot. And this time we're going to bend into that left knee. And then bring the left arm down towards the floor. And this right arm will come up above the head, pointing in a straight line from that back right ankle through the fingertips. Beautiful. And then you can drop that right hand towards the mat, lift the right heel off the floor, and frame the left hand around that left foot into low lunge. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the center of our mat, adjust the feet, and then the arms will come in front of the thighs, hands will come to heart center, into yogi squat. And then we'll do lunge on the right, so you can walk your hands over to the right, straighten that left leg behind you, resting on the toes, framing the hands around that right foot. And we'll go into extended side angle. You can drop that heel of the left foot and bring your arm around towards the ceiling and up overhead, creating a straight line from that left ankle to the fingertips above your head. Beautiful. And you can straighten that right leg, bring the arm up towards the ceiling. We're going to go into a triangle, so adjust your feet. Right toes are to the right, and maybe bring in those left toes in just a little bit. And we'll reach with that right arm first, and then the right hand comes down towards that shin. or black if you need it. You can look in the direction of your left hand. And then we'll come back up. We'll go into star, placing the feet parallel to each other. And then we'll externally rotate the feet just a little bit, keeping them wide so that when we bend them, we have enough space. And we'll bend into the, let's see, widen out just a little bit more. And we'll bend into the knees, bend at the elbows, thumbs meet at the index finger. And then we'll come over to the right. Full breath in, arms go overhead. Fingers interlace, thumbs cross. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale, and exhale over to the left. Inhale, and exhale back to center. And you can release the arms down by your side. That's our first moon salutation for this yoga sequence. And when you feel ready, we'll repeat. Arms come overhead. Fingers interlace, thumbs cross. Full breath in. Exhale, and reach over to the right. Inhale, exhale, back to center. Inhale, exhale, over to the left. Inhale, exhale, back to center. You can release the arms down, take a wider stance with the feet externally rotated, going into goddess, arms up overhead. And exhale, bending the elbows and the knees. The thumbs and index finger come together, other fingers extend towards the ceiling. And then we'll straighten the legs and straighten the arms. Palms face the floor, feet are parallel to each other. And then we'll go into triangle on the right. Go ahead and rotate those toes over to the right leg, and you can draw the left toe slightly in as well. And then you'll bring the upper body over that right leg, and airplane the arms down towards that right foot. Meanwhile, looking up towards the ceiling. Beautiful, and you can bring the arms back up, keeping that core engaged. And we're gonna go into side, extended side angle. So with this, we're gonna bend into that right leg, drop the arms back down, and bring that arm above overhead. And really this hand is just to keep your shoulders aligned over that foot. You really wanna keep the core engaged here. And then we'll be going into lunge on the right. So you could drop that left hand, bring that heel up of that left foot, frame the hands around that front right foot, and then we'll walk the hands around to center, coming to yogi squat. Feet are wide enough for our arms to come in front, hands at heart center. And then we'll go into lunge on the left, walking the hands around, extending that right leg back and behind us with the heel facing the ceiling. Hands frame that left foot. And then we'll straighten that left leg. Arms are kind of come up just a little bit. And we're going to go into extended side angle. So we'll bring these arms back down. Arm will come up above the head, again keeping the core engaged here. And then we'll straighten that left leg, bring our upper body up, adjust your feet if you need to. And we'll go ahead and lean over that left front foot, airplane the arms down towards that left leg, keeping the core engaged, looking up towards the ceiling. Then we'll raise back up, bring the feet in. You can relax the arms a bit if you like. Feet are parallel to each other. Arms are airplaned out, palms facing the floor in star. And then we'll go into Goddess, externally rotating the feet out just a little bit, wide enough so that when we bend, we have enough space in between our feet. Full breath in, arms up, and then bend at the elbows and the knees. Index finger and thumb touch. And then we'll come to bring that right foot to meet the left. And we'll go to bend, bring the arms above the head, interlace the fingers, interlace the thumb, extend the index finger towards the ceiling. Full breath in, and we'll bend over to the left as we exhale. Inhale, exhale back to center, full breath in. Exhale over to the right. Inhale, and exhale back to center. Find the center of our mat again. And this time we'll come to the back. Full breath in, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Now here we can create a little bend in the knees to help this forward bend. Maybe we hold on to the elbows. Maybe we tuck our chin towards our chest, allowing the back of the neck to relax just a little bit. Fully allowing the rib cage to expand as we breathe in. And allow our body to get heavier and melt towards the floor as we exhale. Maybe we shake our head out a little bit to the left, to the right, back, and up. And then maybe we place our hands on the mat. Maybe straighten the legs out just a little bit after we've had a little bit of time to warm up. And we'll slowly walk our hands into downward dog in front of us, creating a V. Maybe we walk the feet out here as well, creating a bend in one leg and then the other. Again, working on the areas of the Achilles tendon, stretching that out here, relaxing into this pose, allowing a little bit more mobility of that joint, the ankles, calves, and shin. And then we'll drop the knees to hover just above the mat. And then we'll bring the hips back up towards the ceiling, extending and straightening the legs back down into downward dog. Taking a full breath in, exhaling, dropping the knees down towards the mat, hovering just above it. And then straightening the legs back, resting the heels on the mat in downward dog. And then this next time we'll go ahead and bring the knees completely down to the mat, onto all fours. If you need to adjust your hands so that they're underneath the shoulders, go ahead and do so. And the knees so that they're underneath the hips. From here, we're going to go into cat-cow. We're going to round the spine towards the ceiling. Tucking the tailbone under. And then slowly allowing our abdomen and chest to melt towards the mat. Meanwhile, our head comes up towards the ceiling and tailbone raises up towards the ceiling as well. And again, arching the back towards the ceiling, tucking the chin towards the chest and the tailbone under. And then dropping the chest towards the mat, and the head raises towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Now we're going to come into supported hero. For this, you want to grab any blocks or blankets you may need for this position. I'll show you this sideways. This position with the feet underneath the hips. This can be difficult for the knees. So some modifications here are to create a little bit of space in between the thighs, and then to bring the block at a level that's comfortable for you. You can adjust these blocks so that maybe they sit a little higher. Hands rest on top of the thighs. Spine is straight. Again, we're allowing that front of the shin here to have a little bit of compression and to release any tension around that ankle. If you like a little bit more support here, you can bring the bolster, and that can actually go underneath the shins. Your legs can rest here, and depending on where your hips hang off of the bolster, you can use that block once again, and then your feet will be free. And we'll just stay here in this pose. And again, you don't need to use any of these props. You can choose to keep your feet extended right underneath your hips, keeping a straight spine, and arms resting on top of your thighs. And then we're gonna go ahead and walk our hands forward onto our mat, coming onto all fours. We're gonna go through a few more cat-cows, rounding the spine towards the ceiling, tucking the tailbone and chin under. And then dropping the chest towards the mat. Head comes up towards the ceiling, tailbone raises. And again, rounding the spine towards the ceiling. Head tucks, tailbone tucks. And then chest drops towards the mat. Head and tailbone raised towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna come down to our mat on our chest, lower the hips, extend the legs completely behind us. The hands are placed underneath the shoulders. We're gonna go into baby cobra. So really keeping the legs directly behind us. Feet can be touching, or depending on what feels comfortable for you, maybe they're a little further apart. But we want to make sure that the tops of the feet, thighs, and hips are grounded into that mat. Your eye gaze is directly in front of you. We're going to keep the elbows by our rib cage. Keep everything engaged, full breath in. And then just slowly press your hands into the mat, allowing your upper body to come up just a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and place the hands back underneath the shoulders. Realign our head to be looking in front of us. Taking a full breath in, keeping the elbows by our ribcage. Exhale and press a little bit more into that mat. See if you don't come up just a little bit deeper. Shoulders are down, away from your ears. And back. Feeling completely grounded in our lower half, our thighs, hips, ankles. Beautiful. And you can slowly lower down, bring the arms by your side, rest the opposite side of your face on your mat. And you can bring your hands back underneath your shoulders to help you bring your hips over your feet. And we're going to go into child's pose. If you like, you can take your knees out a little wider, toes touch, and sink your hips back towards your feet. Hands can walk up further. And you can rest your forehead on the mat. And if this doesn't feel that comfortable for you, you can use a bolster here and just rest your upper body on there. And when you're ready, you can slowly press your hands into the mat, walking your upper body back, removing your bolster if you chose to use one. And we're going to come into pigeon on the left. Hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, and we're going to bring that left knee towards that left wrist, maybe a little bit to the outside, and draw the left ankle towards that right wrist just a little bit, and extend that right leg, straightening it back just a little bit. And you can walk your hands forward, maybe resting on your forearms. Maybe you come all the way down, rest your head on your forearms. Maybe you use a block underneath your left hip. See how that feels, if you can keep your hips in alignment towards the front of your mat. Or if it feels good, you can just keep your upper body up. You can slowly press your upper body back up if it's not there already. Press your hands into the mat to lift your hips up. And you can circle your hips in one direction and then in the opposite direction. And then we'll do pigeon on the right. Again, aligning the shoulders over the wrists, knees over the hips. Bring that right knee out to the side of that right wrist or behind it, and that right ankle behind that left wrist or in that direction. Straightening that left leg completely, allowing you to have a little bit more space to rest that hip down towards the mat. And then you can walk the hands forward if you like, resting on the forearms, using a block underneath the hip of the right side. It may feel completely different on this side, so choose what feels good for you. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and press your upper body up, hips up, circle the hips in one direction, and then the other. And we're going to come back down all the way onto our stomachs. And we're going to draw our left knee out to the side so that the inside of the left thigh rests on the floor. If you need to, this is where you can add a little blanket just for a little bit of cushion on your knee joint. The foot is externally rotated, pointing out as well in half frog here. And you can rest your head on your hands. And that right leg is straight, resting with the top foot on the mat as well. We're going to keep the left leg exactly where it is. We're going to walk our hands back so that the elbows come underneath the shoulders and the palms rest on the mat here. And so we are in half frog Sphinx pose. And again, that right leg is just directly behind you, resting on the mat. Heart is shining forward. Eye gaze is relaxed. Maybe you close your eyes. Allowing the abdomen to also relax into the mat with every breath. And yet keeping engaged in the shoulders so that they don't come caving around your ears. And then you can bring the upper body back down to the mat. Widen the elbows out. Straighten that left leg to meet the right. And maybe you rotate the hips, rock from one side to the other, just to release anything in that low back or spine. And then we're going to bring that right knee out to the side. Again, if you need to use a blanket for that knee joint, you want the ankle to be right below that knee, and the foot of the right is externally rotated. And again, you can just find a comfortable position to rest your head, maybe on your hands or on the mat. And that left leg is straight behind you. And then we're going to keep that right knee where it is, but we're just going to press our hands into the mat, bring our elbows underneath the shoulders, with the palms resting on the mat into half frog, Sphinx pose. And again, you can allow your heart to shine forward, keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears. And maybe you close your eyes. And again, with every inhale, allowing that abdomen to extend. Maybe press into the mat a little bit more. And then you can widen the elbows, allow your chest to come back down towards the mat. Straighten that right leg to meet the left. And this time we're going to extend the left arm out to the side, palm face down. We're going to use our right hand to help us roll our bodies over on top of that left shoulder. Maybe you bend that right leg and let the foot rest. If you have your block, you can use it as a little pillow here for your head, just to give you a little support. And then if you use a block, you can go ahead and remove that and let your body come back to the mat completely, rolling to the center. Again, maybe you rock your hips from side to side. And then we're going to extend the right hand out, palm face down, using our left hand, pressing it into the mat, allowing us to roll over onto the top of that shoulder, left leg bends, bottom of the foot rests on the floor. And you can place that block in a position that's comfortable for you underneath your head. And then we're gonna remove that block underneath the head, roll back to center, rock the hips from side to side, releasing any tension throughout that spine. And then we're going to come on up, press our hands into the mat, hips come back, and then we'll bring the legs in front of us. We're going to bring the bottoms of the feet to touch each other. If you need to, you can use blocks underneath your knees. Keep a straight spine here. Full breath in, and then the space underneath your shins, you can walk or weave your hands underneath there, palms face up towards the ceiling. Upper body just begins to melt forward. And maybe you let your head relax just a little bit, tucking the chin towards the chest. Maybe you bring the feet closer to your hips or further away. This may change the sensation you feel. You may find one that feels better for you. You can unweave the arms out from underneath the shins. Slowly straighten your spine. You can remove the blocks out from under your thighs. And next we're gonna go into having the legs at the wall. So if you do have a clear space, I'm gonna show you how to do that. You're just gonna wanna adjust your mat. There we go. So with our mat up against the wall, we're going to sit our hips next to it, pretty close. And then we're going to come down onto our side, resting on our elbows. Legs come up, and we can rest all the way back down. Straighten the legs and allow the heels to rest. Maybe you keep them bent for your low back. Maybe you butterfly them, letting the outsides of the feet rest and the bottom of the feet together. And if you need to, rock yourself back down. Maybe scoot yourself a little closer to the wall. Try that. See if that feels different for you. Maybe better, maybe not. Again, just check in with what feels best for your body. If you don't have a wall, you can, again, just keep the bottoms of the feet facing towards the ceiling. It's a little bit more active, but you receive that same benefit of having the legs up towards the ceiling. And this is where, if you don't have the wall and you want to use this strap, you can place the strap around the bottom of the feet and just hold on to the edges of that strap to make it a little bit more passive here. And then you can bend the legs if they're not bent already, and allow them to come to the floor, rolling over onto our side. And I'll go ahead and straighten our body so it's completely filling the mat. Legs are extended. Back is going to come down. And we're going to go into a spinal twist. So just having our arms by the side, maybe you extend that right arm out to the side. Bring that right knee up over that hip and use that left arm to help bring it across the body, creating a spinal twist here, keeping that right shoulder down on the mat. If you need a block here, to help just have a place for this right knee to rest, you can use that. Maybe you look over that right shoulder in the direction of your hand. And then you can bring that right knee over that right hip. Straighten that right leg down alongside the left. Maybe rock the hips from side to side. And then you can extend that left arm up to the side, palm facing up. Bring that left knee over that left hip. You can use your right hand to draw that left knee across the right side body. Again, feel free to use a block here for your knee to rest if you need one. You can look over that left shoulder and close your eyes. And then you can go ahead and use your right hand to help bring that left knee back to center. Straighten that left leg alongside the right. You can rock your hips from side to side. Maybe even the shoulders. And we're gonna go into half happy baby. So, if you have that strap and you need it, we're gonna bring that right knee up over that right hip, but then extend that foot towards the ceiling. And then if you can bend that knee, drawing it towards your right chest and that shoulder, you can hold on to the outside of that right foot to allow the back of your hamstring to release. And again, if you like to use a strap, you can place the strap on the bottom of your foot and hold on to the ends of the strap. And relax your shoulders down and just use gravity here. And then you can go ahead and draw that leg back down towards the mat. Rock the hips a little bit. And we'll repeat on the left side, bringing that knee up, extending that foot towards the ceiling, and then drawing that knee towards the left chest, holding on to the outside of the left foot, or using a strap. And meanwhile, the right leg stays straight and grounded into the mat. And maybe here, you can tuck your chin towards your throat just a little bit to realign your neck. See if that feels good. You can allow that leg to return alongside the right. Rock the hips a little bit and we'll go into full happy baby. Here we'll bring the knees above the hips, extend the feet towards the ceiling, and then bend into the knees, holding the outside of the feet. Using a little bit of the strength in your shoulders to keep your shoulders down and also draw those knees a little closer to the floor. You can go ahead and let go of the side of the feet and slowly bend the knees, maybe draw them in towards your chest. Maybe roll from one side to the next. Giving your low back a massage here. And you can roll over onto your side and just lay here for a little bit. And then you can use your hands to pick yourself up. I'm so glad you were able to join me for this new moon yoga sequence. If you ever feel that you would like to attend a live new moon yoga ceremony, they're held at my vinyasa practice here in Austin, and you can register through the Eventbrite link in the description. If you haven't already, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel to be notified of the next video that gets released. Until next time, take care.